10 Most Valuable Australian Coins Worth Money. Australia is perhaps better known for its natural beauty than its antiques. But in the world of coin collecting, there are some fascinating and highly collectible specimens from down under. So what are the most valuable Australian coins? And what is it that makes them so sought after? Step this way to find out. 1. 1930 Proof Penny. If you thought that valuable coins had to be made of precious metals, think again. This humble proof penny is the most valuable copper coin on the planet. It was one of only 6 proof coins to be struck at the Melbourne Mint. 3 are in museums, leaving only 3 available to private collectors. And this particular coin is considered the best of the bunch. According to the sellers, it was handpicked by the deputy master of the Mint, Lusuf, for his own private collection. That provenance made an already rare coin even more exciting to collectors. But others claim that the coin had never belonged to Lusuf. They pointed out that he had retired from his position at the Mint in 1926, 4 years before the coin was struck. If anything, the controversy added to the coin's mystique. So just how valuable can a copper coin really be? Well, the 1930 penny was never intended for circulation. But somehow a handful of coins still found their way into circulation. Not as fine in quality as the proofs, they can nevertheless command prices of around US $20,000. That's around US $14,000. This penny was in a different league. It was offered for sale by a leading Melbourne coin dealer in 2009. And while the details of the purchase are shrouded in mystery, it was expected to fetch around US $2 million. 2. 1923 Proof Halfpenny. This 1923 Proof Halfpenny came to auction in 2009. And its record-breaking price tag is perhaps what prompted the owner of the 1930 Proof Penny to put their coin up for sale too. 1923 halfpennies struck for circulation are considerable rarities. Only around 15,000 of them were made at the Melbourne Mint. That compares to well over 1 million pennies struck the previous year. The best quality example known to exist was sold in 2019 for $75,000. But this particular coin is unique. It's a proof coin, meaning it was crafted with exceptional quality and never intended for circulation. Proofs were produced for archival purposes and in some cases for collectors. And this is the only proof of the 1923 halfpenny in existence. As such, it's highly desirable. When it came under the hammer in 2009, it sold for a staggering US $500,000. That's well over US $340,000. 3. 1920 Square Penny Type 9. The square pennies minted in the early 1920s bear an image of a kookaburra on one side. The penny from 1920 is the rarest and most collectible of them all. The coin was also made in a large number of different versions referred to as types. The Type 9 was unusual in that the obverse side had the text in a square. But all the kookaburra coins are known to have quality issues. The surfaces are often rather dull with inconsistent tones to the metal. This particular Type 9 specimen was special because of the quality of the strike. It was almost up to the standard of a proof with crisp detailing on both sides. And the toning on both sides was superior to other examples too, with a warm golden tone on the obverse. It was sold in 2018 by the dealer's Coinworks for a price of US $135,000. 4. 1852 Type 1 Adelaide Pound. Adelaide pounds were the very first Australian gold coins. That alone makes them precious and collectible. But the Type 1 Adelaide pounds are more collectible still. In this type, a flaw in the die resulted in a crack that runs through the letters DWT on one side of the coin. Only 40 such coins are known to have been produced. And of those, just 3 were uncirculated, leaving them in pristine condition. This is one of those coins, and for many years it was owned by the American coin collector Mortimer Hamill. It came up for sale in August 2021, offered through the dealer's Coinworks. It was quickly snapped up for US $600,000. That's about US $410,000. 5. 1953 Proof Perth Penny. The Perth Mint first began striking coins in 1899. At that time, it was a branch of the London Mint, and its first tasks were to create Australian sovereigns and half-sovereigns. Making proof coins was a resource-intensive process in the 1950s. Only around 20 proofs were typically produced. And even proofs of coins that are in plentiful supply in circulated versions can command high prices. That's the case with this 1953 Proof Perth Penny. It's in excellent condition, described by the sellers as superb FDC. FDC stands for fleur de coin, meaning it's pretty much perfect. At the time of writing, it was being offered for sale via Coinworks at US $38,000. That's the equivalent of around US $26,000. 6. 1855 Sydney Mint Sovereign. Australia's first ever sovereigns were produced in 1855 at the Sydney Mint, giving them a special place in Australian history. Over 500,000 coins were struck, but today they have become something of a rarity. Circulated coins in reasonable condition sell for around US $1,800. This particular coin, however, had never been circulated. As a result, it was in the type of condition for which collectors were prepared to pay a significant premium. It came up for sale in 2021 and was snapped up for US $95,000. That's about US $65,000. 7. 1922-21 Overdate Thruppence. This particularly threepenny bit is the rarest of all Australian coins produced for circulation. It's unusual because of a flaw that's known as an overdate. This is just what you'd imagine. The last digit is a 1 over which a 2 has been stamped. Both numerals are visible on the face of the coin. How and why this came about has been the result of considerable debate amongst coin experts. Some believe that an old die was pressed into service. A simple punch, they believe, was used to replace the 1 with a 2. Others believe it's simply a filled die, where part of the design was filled by grease or dirt. Whatever its origins, the overdate is a rare coin. Only about 900 are believed to exist. And this example is the finest of all in virtually uncirculated condition. It was sold in 2022 for US $70,000, about US $48,000. 8. 1899 Proof Half Sovereign. This beautiful gold coin dates from 1899. It's a half sovereign that was struck as a coin of record at the Melbourne Mint. Coins of record refer to proof coins that were struck in the Australian pre-decimal era. They were designed not for collectors but to record a particular year's mintage or design. As such, they are excellent quality with crisp clear strikes and highly polished fields. And because they were produced for archives rather than the private market, they are difficult to get hold of. This example was sold by dealers Coinworks in April 2022. It made US $80,000. That's around US $55,000. 9. 1813 Holey Dollar. The Holey Dollar was one of the very first coins to be used in Australia, still a penal colony at the time. The Governor of New South Wales, Lachlan Macquarie, enlisted the help of a convicted forger, William Henshaw, to produce the coins. The colony had already been running for 20 years without any currency. Convicts did not have money, and the soldiers supervising them were paid in promissory notes. But having had to pay 200 barrels of rum to purchase his own house, Macquarie felt it was time for a more practical approach. He imported 40,000 Spanish silver dollars. A hole was punched in the middle of them to prevent them being used outside the colony. The donut-shaped coin was then stamped with the denomination of 5 shillings and the date of 1813. This example was sold in the UK in 2017 for £82,000 plus a buyer's premium of 20%. That brought the total price to £98,400, or about US $115,000. 10. 1813 Dump struck with 01 dies. The partner to the 1813 Holey Dollar was the donut hole to the dollar's donut. In other words, it was made from the silver cut out of the middle of the Spanish dollars. Its value was 15 pence, and it became known as a dump. The most sought-after examples have an H on the reverse between the words 15 and pence. The H signified Henshaw, the man responsible for crafting the dies. For reasons unknown, only some of the dies carried his initial. The edge of the coin also has milling, a pattern designed to show if anyone had shaved bits of silver off the coin.